Edward's problem.
One day, Sir Topham Hatt had told Boko that he had to go to the works to get new equipment. And as Boko set it off to the works, Sir Topham Hatt had told Derek to take care of Boko's work while he was away. That evening, as he was finished with his work, he met up with some of the engines. "Evening all," Derek said. "Good evening, Derek," said James. "How's the construction been at the China Clay Works?"
Oh, it's going quite splendidly, said Derek. Would it be alright if I rest here? He said. Of course you can, said Henry. Usually Gordon sleeps here, but he has an express train today, and he'll be back at later, and I have to take the flying kipper, and he can take my berth, said Henry. Alright, said Derek. He then spoke to Edward. Edward, I have a question. What happened after your exploit? Oh, it's quite the story, he said. Please tell us about it, said Oliver. That's something I want to know too, said Bear. Did, any of the engines take care of your workload while you were away at the works? Well, after my exploit, Sir Topham Hatt wasn't pleased that I was late, and he didn't even know about my exploit. But I guess I can tell you. And Edward began his story. The next day, the day after Edward's exploit, he had been having problems while coming out of the shed. His wheels would slide whenever he would come out of the shed. Boko felt concerned for Edward. Are you alright? He said. I just can't seem to get a grip on going, said Edward. And Sir Topham Hatt doesn't even know about it. You poor engine, Boko sighed. But luckily, Edward managed to go. I've done it, we're off, he said. I'm gonna have to go check on him, Boko thought to himself. And he rolled out of the shed. By the time Edward arrived at the harbor on his branch line, he saw that there were some cars that he coupled up to. Boko then oiled up. Are you sure you can take this train to Tidmouth? He said. Well, I have helped push Gordon up the hill, saved James from a runaway, and took in the visitors home yesterday. I'll see if I try, but I'm afraid he wasn't. Boko watched as Edward tried to set off. His wheels just spun as he steamed along.
last he gave up. Boko felt sorry for Edward. He then had a thought. How's about I can take the train? He said. I don't have anything else to do later.
Splendid idea, said Edward. You can take my train.
Boko was relieved. He went to go take the caboose away and shouted into his siding, and Edward uncoupled from the train. As soon as the engine switched lines, Boko coupled up to the freight cars.
I sure hope I can make the journey to Timoth in time, he said.
And he rolled away with Edward's train. At last, Boko finally managed to arrive at Timoth Station. Sir Topham Hatt was confused. Boko, he said. Why are you pulling this train? Edward was supposed to take it. Boko was going to tell him about what's going on with Edward when Edward finally arrived.
Please, sir, said Edward. The reason why Boko's taking it is because of my exploit yesterday. When you saw me coming to the station, you were cross with me. And the reason I was late was because something snapped while I tried to bring the visitors home.
Sir Topham Hatt listened. So it was something that was making you late, he said. Well then I owe you an apology in that case. Edward was relieved. Sir Topham Hatt then spoke to Boko. Can you take care of Edward's work while he's away? Boko was delighted. As for you, Edward, you will go to the works to be mended.
Thank you, sir, said Edward.
And it made him smile happily that he'd ever done in his life.